read through with me, where I read through a vintage Macworld and just take a look at all the interesting things that I find inside. So anyway, this is now September, so we're gonna look at September 1995, which is 30 years ago now. If you hear any background noise, I apologize. I'm kind of near a highway, so hopefully that won't be too bad. But anyway, let's get started. Right on the cover, we're talking about digital cameras. I believe that's either the Quick Take 100 or 150 on the cover. I'm not sure which, but anyway, yeah, that was a whole new ball game 30 years ago. Digital cameras were really first starting to come into the scene. So anyway, let's keep going here. Take control and here your Power Mac and Microsoft Office become one. You assemble your thoughts effortlessly. You drag words, tables, charts, graphics from one program and drop them into another instantly. You are an idea factory. Alright, sure, Microsoft, sure. Sure. Alright, yeah, wow, in here we work miracles. This is such an interesting, like, this sort of ad feels very in place with like contemporary video game ads at the time, where there's kind of lots of big text and then there's some, there's some little text over here, and it's promoting this giant big idea, and it may or may not make sense. Anyway, go ahead. This is you working. Sure, sure, Microsoft. All right. Here we go. What is this? CD-ROM, 6 times speed CD-ROM. CD-ROM. I wouldn't say it was old hat in 1995. It was certainly still a big deal, but it wasn't quite as big a deal as it was in, like 92, 93, I guess. Here we go. Table of contents. What in the world is this card over here? Do not know. We'll take a look at that when we get to it. But yeah, I mean, the whole artwork of these magazines in '95 anyway seems to be right down the middle between the the earlier '90s artwork, which was a whole lot of this sort of hand drawn abstract stuff, and moving toward like a late '90s look, which was, I guess, I don't know if more based in reality is the right way to say it, but at least not based on this weird abstract stuff. Alright, here's more Microsoft ads. They really, really want you to get Excel. It's like, one, you open a worksheet, you type Jan, use autofill, and the rest of the months are filled in for you automatically. Like, but look at this design. Like, where is your eye supposed to go? Why is this white box here? Is this supposed to represent your computer? Is this like a placeholder? I don't know. And of course we got the Dutch angles. Anyway, let's see. Still trying to put Windows on a Mac is an orange micro MS-DOS coprocessor. So I guess you could dual boot. Yeah. There's another scanner, this Paperport. A little scanner, I think we've seen that before. Still selling these desks. Yeah. ViewSonic. I remember this image very well. I'm pretty sure we had a ViewSonic monitor around the time in my household. We didn't have a Mac though. The whole laser print system for $6,000. I don't want to think about how much that's worth today. More portable hard drives. A gig for $489. That's yeah, they've got this little docking system thing, which, I mean, wasn't necessarily that bad of an idea, but it just didn't catch on. So okay, so it's Lacey, or maybe it's Lassie, however you pronounce it. but it's with this Jewel brand name, and that went away. That went away. I can draw. I can chart. Heavens, it's easy now. That Clash Draw comes with automatic diagramming for under $200. All right. Yeah, here's okay. What's inside Macworld's Max and why? So they got the arrival of Microsoft Word sparked a lot of commotion around here. Just as it dominates the marketplace, so Word is the dominant word processing program in Macworld. You know, I wonder what they use now. Macworld still exists online. It doesn't exist in print anymore. But I wonder if they still use any Microsoft products in the making of it. Alright, subscriber courtesy vouchers. So okay, when I was a kid, this felt insane to me that you could just check this box and you can mail this in, and then they'd start your subscription and then they'd send you a bill. Like how does that work? What stops you from just never paying the bill? I mean, I guess they stop your subscription after a while, but you know. Anyway, all right, here we go. It's a Polaroid scanner. Back when Polaroid was still making cameras. I guess they are making cameras again now, but anyway, yeah. Okay, here's an actual ad from Apple. Looking for a compelling reason to set up an internet website. How about the fact that you don't have to be propeller head anymore in order to actually do it? What? First of all, what is a propeller head? Um, and second of all, does this not look like the guy from Twin Peaks? Um, what's her name? The girl that got killed. That's her dad. How does this not look like Twin Peaks? Who is that? He's a marketing manager. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Sure. This is the Apple Internet Server Solution. Never heard of this. Um, I guess this was a software package. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up. Here we got letters. Okay, well, okay. Looks like the Happy Mac icon might have gone away. Um, and this guy's correcting him and saying that it still appears. Of course, now we don't have the Happy Mac at all. It's kind of sad, but maybe they should bring that back. You know, we had all the kerfluffle with them changing the Finder icon recently in the Tahoe betas. People really didn't like that. I didn't like it. I thought it looked ugly. Why change something that's been the same way it has for almost 30 years, if not longer? Anyway, I digress. Store all your data on recordable CDs for $16.95. It's a 2-time CD recorder, and it's 3 drives in one because it's also a tape drive replacement. That's a okay. That's a little disingenuous there, but all right. Oh, wait a minute. I saw a letter here. It's a call to clone makers. Will somebody please make a Mac keyboard with a pointing stick, similar to those common on MS-DOS laptops? Yeah, that's the well, I can't really say the name of the um on like IBM laptops, the little track point. Track point is the official name for that. I've heard a much more vulgar name for that mouse uh, based on something that it resembles. But yeah, I never. I've only used a track point a couple times. Never clicked with me. Never understood it. Quite frankly, the trackpad is far superior. But anyway, it's interesting that somebody was wanting a Mac version of it. uh, Pardon the throat noises. getting over having COVID of all things. So that was fun. Here's a Mac connection ad. Oh, it's interesting. The Epson ELP 3000, smallest, lightest, brightest multimedia projector. The biggest little. How big is this? It's light enough to take with you, but you don't need to be a technician to make it work. But they don't give specs about how big it is. I guess this guy is holding it, which still looks like a regular size projector to me. I don't know, maybe it was smaller than the other projectors at the time. Alright, here we go. The news. Internet's next big step. What is this talking about? Open doc aware documents on the internet. I don't know if that ever went anywhere. More powerful performers. Okay, sure. They were never all that powerful to begin with. Okay, this is kind of clever. Introducing a printer for those who have ideas bigger than this page, and then it's cut off on the edge of this page. I mean, I actually love Hewlett Packard's printers. I know a lot of people have issues with printers, but I've had good luck with HP, and honestly, their large format printers were really cool. So cool ad, clever idea for that. Let's see, more stuff happening with the Paramax, more scanners stuff over here. Oh, hey, this is a what is this? It's just a little quick jot thing you can do when someone calls. It doesn't even call them for you. It's just a contact manager. Okay. Okay. Oh, here we go. Wacom tablets. Look at these chunky Wacom tablets. You know, we got one that I got my wife a long time ago. That's just a cheap one, but man, it's fun messing around with the pen. And of course, you know, we have the iPad and stuff now, but the Wacom is pretty cool. I wonder when these first came out. They proudly carry it at Circuit City. There's a name for you. I really miss those. I miss those a lot. Let's see. RAM doubler, which is a scam. Vector effects. Now that looks 90s. Look at that. That is straight out of 90s. Vector graphics effects. Okay, here we go. Sensory overdrive. Yes, that is definitely sensory overdrive. You know, I never really considered how similar the ads in these magazines are to, you know, video game ads at the time. I think people today do not appreciate just how unhinged a lot of these ads were. There's a quick cam. Man, that probably looks terrible. Is your Macintosh lonely tonight? Oh no, I got two cats with me here, so let's see. Statistica Mac, that's a big thing I don't know anything about. It's an ad for Adobe Illustrator 5.5. You can use Illustrator to design wacky 90 magazine layouts. Alright, Media Paint. A QuickTime paint tool. So it paints over QuickTime. I'm actually using QuickTime to record this right now. That's interesting. Some drawing software called Smart Sketch, and what the heck is that? Sledgehammer 8000 FT. It's a fault-tolerant drive array. So it's a RAID? Yeah, level 5 RAID. So it's 8 gigabytes. 8 gigabytes, and it's $23,599. Oh man, you can double that at 16 gigabytes for $28,599. They do have some cheaper ones, it looks like. Oh no, those are spare drives. Those aren't cheaper models. Those spare drives. So you can get a spare 4 gig drive for $3,000. That's, man, even for the time, that sounds expensive. That's insane. How do you tell if it's a Trinitron? Well, today, it probably sells for a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, by the picture on the screen. What the? That's silly. Live picture 2.0. This is the image editor. Oh, Style Rider 1200. I used to have one of these things. I never could get it to work. But they're essentially rebranded Canon printers. Back when Apple sold printers, made printers. At least I'm fairly sure they were rebranded Canons. And it's not the other way around. But yeah, anyway, they were just basic little desktop printers. So this was like what, $269? That's not that bad. That's not that bad. Alright, stock photo library is Corel, okay. I think we've seen that ad before. Samsung, Mac's new point of view. Monitors, conflict catcher. IntelliHance 1.0. What is that? It's a Photoshop plugin. A lot of Adobe ads in here. There's a game called the Daedalus Encounter. Never heard of this. Traditional bestowing of the croquet balls. What the heck is this? Interesting. Never heard of this. 3 CDs. Okay. Those 3D animated. I'm gonna look up this game because that sounds interesting. The Apple Mobile Message System. So remote messaging service. What is this? What is this? $549 from Apple Computer. And it's $19.95 a month. So it's based on something called PowerTalk. So it's paging. So it's the Apple Mobile Message System. We receive alphanumeric pages on your PowerBook, Windows Notebook, or the Newton via an included PC card, formerly PCMCIA card. I didn't know they ever actually changed that name, but anyway. So it's basically a little modem on a PC card, and you get pages on? Never heard of this. Definitely something that needs to be, somebody needs to find this thing and make a video on it, because never heard of this. I wonder if somebody could reverse engineer the messaging service to get it to work. Anyway, fascinating. Never heard of that one. Alright, let's see here. Fax Pro for Macintosh. My business depends on it. Remember when fax machines were essential? Yeah, I know. Oh, man. Is a dual joystick port? Never heard of that. So what is this? It lets you connect a pair of 3 or 6 button Sega Genesis, Master System, Atari 2600, 7800, or 3DO controllers to any Mac except the 128K, 512K, or Plus. So this would work with the SE? That's interesting. So it's okay. So this is a box that connects to an 80B port, and then you can plug the game, the controller into that. So yeah, the reason it's compatible with all these is because the Sega Genesis and the Master System and the Atari's They actually all use the same plug, so you can plug a Genesis controller into an Atari 2600 and play with it that way. At least I think so. Anyway, so that's some interesting hardware. $70 is a lot at the time, I think. But all right, here we go. Here's a little the Glide Point. So it's just a little standalone trackpad. You know, that guy back in the earlier in the issue wanted a standalone track point. Where here's the trackpad. I guess I can't remember when the. See, this still has a power book with the ball. I can't remember when the ones with trackpads came out. The new PD standards, one SCSI drive, both 4x CD-ROM and rewritable optical. That's weird. There we go, Trackball Pro, ADB. This Jam from Microsoft was a client-server thing. All right. There's another joystick. Pre-configured for 120 games. What the heck is this? What is this ad? Choosy mothers agree. Claris Works kicks the kumquats out of Microsoft. That's a lot. So Claris Works was basically like, you know, Microsoft Office. It had a spreadsheet, it had a, you know, a word processing program and everything like that. It later became AppleWorks for the Mac, and I think Claris still exists. I'm not sure. I think they make FileMaker. Anyway, what an ad is this? This is like, okay. These are the Macworld magazine awards, but like, I guess these are all the different Mac magazines. None of these people look like they use a Mac. This guy probably does. This guy looks cool, but I don't know about the rest of these guys. Anyway. Yeah, 90s advertising, man. Look at this font, okay? It's crazy font. Let's stick some people on a nonsensical background. Yeah, very interesting. Alright, here we go. Here's the article about digital cameras. Mini futurists predict that silver-based film and conventional photography will soon go the way of the 8-track stereo and polyester leisure suits. Once you buy a filmless camera, you never pay another nickel for film and processing. Yeah, but at this point in time, they're still pretty dang expensive. So, yeah, they're talking about the QuickTake 150. So I think they're test driving some cameras. So not sure what this thing is. All right, let's go. So. Yeah, kind of breaking down how they work. We've got with the CCDs and wow, there's a bunch of comparisons here. Bunch of different cameras. So they're all insanely expensive. I mean, the Apple QuickTake is actually pretty cheap. You know, and of course they got, you know, the pro cameras that are like $27,000 and, you know, maybe 1 megapixel, maybe 1 or 2 at the time. But you know, and they even list backs on here, which is backs were basically stuff that you could attach to a regular camera that would make it into a digital camera. So that's very interesting. More data equals higher quality. So of course I'm looking at this on a computer that's a scan of a magazine. It was a print magazine. So, you know, take that as you will. Yeah, that 630K looks pretty bad. Pretty bad. This is actually a pretty short article, and they don't really talk about the quick take that much. So, alright, here's a PowerBook. This does have a trackpad, so, how Apple is making it easier to move a refrigerator like this. Remember when every business person dressed in a suit? I mean, I guess some people still do, but you don't really see that look that much anymore. Let's see. Newest options to run Windows on a Mac. Yeah, we're gonna shoehorn Windows inside this Mac here. So these are looking at compatibility cards. So Apple actually sold one. Um, yeah, what are the prices on these things? 649. Dang, man. I think you can just at that point just buy a Windows computer. You know? Like why? Just buy a Windows computer if you want a Windows computer. Alright, the Power Max scientific regulation. Okay, so they're using a Power Mac to do all kinds of cool science, which is, you know, like a solar powered car here, which I still don't understand. So this was 30 years ago. Why don't we have solar powered cars, or at least solar, augmented cars? Like I'm sitting in an RV right now, that the lights and the refrigerator are all being run off a battery that's recharged every day with a solar panel. One single panel. That's it. So why don't cars at least have panels on them at this point? I don't know. Anyway, this is basically talking about how scientists can finally use the Power Mac to do science, basically. So definitely interesting. You know, I think we've reached a point where, I mean, yeah, faster is always better, but you know, for most people, computers are fast enough, and have been fast enough for a decade or more, really. You know, and so you don't see a whole lot of stuff like this anymore about how, like, you know, oh, we finally have powerful enough computers to do what we've been trying to do. No, it's really the hang-ups now are, you know, other areas rather than the actual raw power itself. And then directly after this is good layout. Right after this article about how powerful the new Power Macs are and how you're doing them science-wise, it says no matter how fast your Mac is, it cannot run a power problem. That's good ad placement. Really good ad placement there. Alright, here we go. Color printers. There's color lasers, I guess. Yeah, it's like this is a really okay. How did somebody had to design this graphic and then make it look ugly, basically? Or I guess they could have scanned this. I don't know, but color lasers are still expensive. We looked into getting one, so we could have a printer at home for my kids' homeschool stuff. But we ended up getting a tank-based printer, and it has automatic double-sided printing, which is pretty amazing. But it was still half the cost of a color laser, and I'm talking a basic color laser at that. So it's just the prices on that tech just has not come down very much. Yeah, so Page Quark Express and PageMaker. This is layout software. I briefly used PageMaker in college, very briefly for an English class I had. Now you can do all this stuff. I mean, Apple's Pages will do most of it. But I thought my new Macintosh would run Windows applications. Like, why would you think that? Why would you think that? I guess some people still thought that, but I don't understand why. I don't understand that. There's a lot of Apple ads in this issue. Um, it's not how powerful the computer is, it's how powerful the computer makes you. Which is a really weird ad when you think about it. It's basically saying, hey, you know, our computers aren't necessarily the most powerful, but it can make you powerful, right? That's a really weird, self-deprecating ad. Oh, let's see. Portable font technology. What is this? Generates true type and PostScript Type 1 fonts from master outline. Many fonts. Scalable. Well, this didn't go anywhere. Erasing pens. 256 levels of pressure. Yeah, that's cool. It's Photoshop 3. With some very 90s looking photoshops in here. This is peak 90s graphic design here. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't really know what people today think when they look back on this era of graphic design. I mean, it actually kind of reminds me of like early AI generated images from a couple of years ago. But of course, people painstakingly made these, you know. So yeah, that's weird. We got expert graphics with this very. You know what this looks like? This looks like Apple's logo for their iPhone event that's happening on Tuesday. This video is probably going to go up after this event, but this kind of chroma flare thing like that. Power Max flowing into client server mainstream. I guess. This is saying that look, this cartoon is like, here's a little OS2. Remember OS2 truck, and the Power Mac is gonna run over it. It didn't really happen. It didn't really happen at all. Let's see here. Oh, this is an Apple. Okay, so a picture is worth 1,000 words, but for some reason Hewlett Packard is speechless, and it's an ad for the Apple color laser writer 12600. I bet that was expensive. My gosh, that was probably expensive. Um, yeah. Let's see. Environmentally friendly computing. Wow, so this is 30 years ago. Oh, look, way down here on the right, Berkeley Systems After Dark 3.0 includes a power saving module. So get yourself some After Dark screensavers, and then you can save the world and save the environment. I do miss After Dark. I wish that was still around. I know there's other screensavers, obviously, but it actually makes more sense now with, I guess, with OLEDs. I guess we kind of need that again. I guess realistically, you can just turn off the monitor now, but let's see, more energy saving stuff. There's an ad for CompuServe. This is the science fiction and fantasy forum, and virus updates, and look at all the stuff you can do on CompuServe. Email, the gardening forum, over 20 different Mac forums. It seems really quaint now, but I mean, it was pretty cool at the time. Alright, Mac Play games. There's a lot of games on here I've never heard of. Let's see, shortcuts, tricks. Rebuild the desktop. Remember when that was like the catch-all, like, oh, something's wrong with the computer, well, have you rebuilt the desktop?
like, it just works. Yeah, you just have to rebuild the desktop and then it'll work. Another app for retrospect backup. Let's see. Oh yeah, pings and memory will keep you from giving bombs. So I'm really glad that Okay, first of all, Mac is now Unix, so it's a lot more stable than it used to be. But um, there was a lot of whimsy in the little bomb that would come up. I guess it was supposed to make you feel a little bit better. Hey, there's something funny when you have a major problem with your computer. I don't know. Now a bunch of people probably freak out. What the heck is this? The best in 3D just got better. The standard for 3D animation and design, and it's a Fox News logo. Wow, that's... man. I think Fox would have been pretty new at the time. I can't remember when Fox started exactly, but certainly Fox News back then was definitely not the Fox News that we know today. Wild to see that. Alright, let's see. The top 10 internet addresses. Here we go. What is this? Let's take a look at these. So let's see. spock.austin.apple.com/cool.tools.html. The Internet Cool Tool Awards. Okay, is there anything else interesting here? It's still letting me click on these. I wonder if any of them still exist. The University of Texas Mac Internet Archive. Here's a web page about ISDN. It's not really relevant anymore. Let's see. Newscompsysmac.com. Remember news groups? I'm not sure if anybody remembers news groups. Oh, here we go. Way down here, number 10. Tidbits. Does Tidbits still exist? I think it might still exist. It was a thing for a long, long time. Free newsletter for Macintosh people. Charting the PowerBooks. The PowerPC PowerBooks are about to ship. So they're talking about evaluating all the old models. The future of laptops. They're talking about active matrix displays coming down. Field emission displays, which work like an array of miniature CRTs. Never heard of that. I'm going to have to look that up. Hard drives were maybe the principal laptop storage medium for this decade. At least it was at least 2 decades after this, I think, before SSDs really became a thing. Let's see. Alright. Are you ready for a whole new age of Apples? We are. I guess this was talking about PowerPC stuff. Macworld's new consumer department? They're still looking at consumer stuff as well as professional stuff? I don't know. We're starting to get into the odds. America Online. I'd like to get my hands on a free copy of America Online. Did anyone actually ever ask for a copy of AOL? I mean, there was a point there where you open your mailbox and like once a week you get a copy. It was a good marketing. But we had AOL when I was a kid. It was really my first online. We had CompuServe for a little bit before that. But AOL was the first thing that I really got into.
Star ratings of is an ad from Macworld Expo when they had two of them, Boston and San Francisco. And then again with the early 90s graphics design. More star ratings. Go through these. Okay, I've seen this car before. Power Macintosh Racing. I'd really like to see like a YouTube video about the history of this car. What the heck is this? Sable, San Francisco. Oh, it's just different fonts expressed as Photoshop, basically. That's wild. Let's see here. Excuse me. Streetwise Shopper. Oh, this is more little ads. A lot of this is just the same as this is why. So they had a DV Expo and a CD-ROM Expo. CD-ROM Expo and conference. There used to be computer expos, like, it seems like there was one every 6 weeks. Here we go, advertising index. We have tons of ads. Go through some of them. Oh, wait a minute, let's go back. Oh, Rebel Assault, $23.99, and Dark Forces. Both fantastic games. Dark Forces just got a remaster not long ago. I'd love to see a remaster of the Rebel Assault games. Rebel Assault 2 was the one that I played the most. Because I'd had like the full motion video. If I recall, it was the first Star Wars stuff that had been filmed like in a professional capacity since Return of the Jedi in Rebel Assault 2. We got tape backup. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of these people all sell the same things, so just kind of looking at what's different. It's a Club Mac CD-ROM drive. Look how massive this thing was. Only $100 though. It's not bad. It's only 2 times, but what can you do for $100? Yeah. Mac system 5% above cost. Seriously? That's probably not true, but CDW, they're still around. I think so, anyway. Yeah. It's just like list of stuff, because you couldn't just go look this stuff up anywhere. I mean, I guess some of these people had websites, but a lot of them didn't. Yeah. You just call them and order it on the phone. Call to receive our free catalog. Oh, this is cool. This is Lizard. What the heck is that? It's for a graphics card? Yeah, radius card. And we got zip drives for $1.99. They're blowing out SideQuest for $2.99 because SideQuest didn't catch on compared to Zip anyway. Alright, there's so much hardware stuff that, like, I mean, I know some people collect some of this stuff, but so much of this stuff must just be buried in basements and landfills and stuff like that. Here's a color 17-inch pivoting monitor. That's pretty cool. Let's see. The Internet Valet. your internet ready in 10 minutes, and you get free 14-day national internet service and send and receive email. It's only $40. Like, I guess you still have to pay the phone bill on top of that too. So, gig of storage for $3.79, 8 gig of backup storage for $9.99. 8 gigs. I have, like, this video is probably almost 8 gigs. Memory upgrades. Yeah, there's so many ads. And we're not even halfway through the ads. So many little companies come and gone. Mac Elite peripherals. These little mice are cool. Yeah. Just looking for anything interesting. Toothpicks, pencil tips, and paper clips. Don't risk it. They will damage your Mac and destroy your files. Remove jam disks safely with the Mac Disk Eject tool. What the heck is that talking about? Really? I guess, okay. I don't think most Macs had a paperclip button, a little paperclip eject hole. So maybe that's right. I know the compact Macs don't. But like, did later ones have one? I can't remember. So like, I wonder what this little tool actually is. Oh. You know, little things like that. Like, okay, today it'd just be like, oh, okay, just 3D print something, you know, on your own, or, you know, 3D print something. We can sell this really quick. And back then, to make a tool like that, it would have been a significant investment just to make a little tiny disk eject thing. So, man, these companies. Oh, excuse me. Trade in your old Mac for a Power Mac. Yeah, they're blowing out these older models because Power Mac's coming in soon. Yeah, list and list and list. List and list. Here's a cat jumping out of a screen. Maybe it's foreshadowing Mac OS 10. Who knows? And more list. Wanted used subs that would top money be paid. We buy used memory. I guess if you're upgrading stuff, you would have to remove the old ones. So I guess you could sell that. You know, here's something. Okay, Newton upgrade products right over here. I haven't seen anything Newton in here. Anything at all. And the Newton's like, what, 2 years old at this point? I haven't even seen it advertised. Like, that's a failure. That's a big failure. I mean, it wasn't killed until Jobs came back, so it should still be there. Like, yeah, man. Oh, here's MacBeat music for the Mac. Here's a blood pressure monitor. The only blood pressure system with heartbeat waveform displays. It's $139. It'd be hard pressed to find a computer blood pressure monitor for $139 today. Student teacher software, educational stuff, map art. I feel like, I know there's a lot of software out there these days, but I feel like there used to be more oddball stuff, one-off things, you know? And now it seems like, yeah, there's like the top, 40 or 50 programs that everybody has. But beyond that, I don't know, there's just not a lot of the little specialized things. So, free EDU Corp CD-ROM catalog. Here we go, Guy Kawasaki, Mac Evangelist, Guy's Guide to Driving Your Competition Crazy. Oh, I think that's just about it. Isn't that? It's got color calibration. That's cool. Yeah, Janet and her favorite pop-up movie. Wait, show colors? What does that mean? Huh. Kensington Turbo Mouse. Oh, that's the back cover. That is it. Well, thank you for sticking around. If you stuck around the end of this meandering long video, I apologize if there was some noise. Again, I'm kind of recording in a parking lot, so got some car noise probably on there. But anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will try. I know I missed August, but I will try next month in October to have October 1995 read through, Macworld read through, up on my YouTube, if I can get it done in time. Hopefully I can. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.